My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. Before I show my final follow-up to the Happy Hippo surprise, I want to say this. I would like to let you all know that even though it may only be January as I record this and only be April as this premieres on YouTube, there are certain projects in my shop that are made year-round, and even the stuff that would be best sold between October and December gets made any time of year that it is convenient. And as you know, it's like during the times these videos are being recorded, I was snowed into my house by a storm and unable to get out. And you know, like with all the mess it was to do all the sanding to make these, this was the most convenient time for me to work on the project. So we'll just also tell you, even though it might be a Christmas thing, that stuff like this gets made year-round. But I'm going to show you all a follow-up and tell you all probably what has yet to be done. You can see that on the backs of these hippos, I have put my little slogan, I choose charity over bitterness, in with a burnt branding iron. And I'll put in my initials, JDP, the year 2026, and basswood, which is what it is made out of. And you can see I have used the rotary tool to make the eye and the ear and the nostril. And on the front, I have put Happy Hippopotamus for Christmas. So that is kind of, you know, based on the song about wanting a hippopotamus and all. So with that kind of being something that's popularly recognized, decided I'd do a little bit of that extra work. I'll let you all see the rest of these while I'm at it and still have a chance. And so you all can kind of see a little bit more how all of these are just so much turning out. I'd like to share a little bit more as we move along and do other little projects. And as you all can see, there's probably going to be other things I'll do, and I'll tell you all a little bit more about that. One thing I'd like to mention is how I have this stuff that I dye wood in. There's these certain like dye tints that you mix with denatured alcohol, and the amount of tint you put in per the amount of alcohol, and the longer you let it soak, will determine how dark you want the color to be in the wood. And you know, knowing the fact that I have containers with red dye and blue dye, that's one of the reasons I've just been thinking over how I might just kind of take some of those colors, mix a couple of them together, maybe make a purple dye to put these hippos in. I do want to mention that back around the time during COVID, when Lowe's and Home Depot, even though they were still open, were kind of selling out of a lot of stuff and not getting stuff in stock, there were like several little packages of eye screws that I purchased off of Etsy in different colors and had them for a few years. Unfortunately, when we had the flood come through the basement over a year ago, those things got wet, they got rusted, they got corroded, so I had to throw them away recently. I'll be getting some new eye screws to put in the tops of these, and I'd say regardless of whether or not I ever put any purple dye in them, one thing I plan to do for sure is to probably at some time or another take some green paint and some red paint and paint little holly berries and holly leaves on them, maybe just to kind of give them the more holiday design. And like I said, you know, it's like, it just so happens that there are certain times a year I make more business than I do at other times a year. I have the most shows like from October through December, because that is when I can get the most traffic and make the most sales. So things are made year round to go with those times. And that is just the final thing I wanted to share with you all about the project for today. And there's going to be more to show in another series. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to this channel. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.